host, Jean Adrienne, and we're going to kick off a fantastic show today because I've got an incredible guest. She's an intuitive, she's an author, and she has created a brand new free telesummit that you can sign up for today and enjoy. It's going to kick off in just a couple of days, and I'm one of her speakers. I'll be speaking on March the 3rd, so I'm very excited about that too. My guest is Lumari, and Lumari's website is www.lumari.com. So welcome, Lumari.
Oh, thank you for having me here, Jean. It's a blast to be here.
Well, I'm really glad that you're here. And, you know, I'm not sure that my viewers or listeners know you. So tell everybody about how you kind of got onto this intuitive path and then a little bit about the summit.
Fantastic. Well, I'm a born intuitive. I'm a born psychic, channel, healer. I always like to say that I was like born turned on. And so all of those different things were happening for me when I can remember, I have memories of these angels and other beings talking to me while I was in my crib. And so, but I just did not know that that was any particular talent until I was already in college. Because because it was always like that, I just assumed everybody had all of those voices and all of the guidance and knew, don't sneak the cookies today, little girl, because your mother counted them, right? Like I just thought everybody had that. And it wasn't until later that I realized, no, this is a whole other thing. And so my work ended up being as a creative. I was a sculptor and I had my art in museums and I got grants. And then one day it was obvious that everybody was not calling me because they just wanted to be friends, but they were saying, could you do me a favor? Could you look at this for me? Could you do me a favor? I want to know about this. And then one person who was a beautiful woman, a CEO who was a friend, just said to me, I need you to guide me through this corporate takeover. I want you to do this and I'll pay you. I'm like, whoa. Oh, okay, this is a whole other reality. And that's kind of how I went into working as an intuitive and as a psychic and doing guidance. And then I realized that also all of the messages that were coming through needed to be written down because other people didn't necessarily know what the Akashic Records was, or like I was in communication with the beings who collaborate and connect with the information. So they explained to me what it was and how you tuned in and how they got their information, which to me at that point was like more exciting. Ooh, how do you do that? Ooh, I want to know. And so I went from there. And now I have this fabulous summit that we're doing that I wanted to connect with other people who use their intuition or connect with their intuition in lots of different ways for lots of different purposes. So everybody can see that you don't necessarily have to be an intuitive. It doesn't need to be your job description to use those tools that we are already born with.
Oh yeah, I mean, you and I talk about this because we recorded the interview that I'm doing with you.
Yeah.
Talks about, you know, this and my situation was a lot like yours. I mean, I was born an intuitive as well, but the stuff that I saw scared the daylights out of me. And so I shut it down because, you know, when you start seeing it in the crib, you don't necessarily know how to process that information. You don't have the tools. And I certainly didn't have a family that was supportive of that. So, I think this is really important stuff to get out to people because it is so important to trust your intuition and let it help you because it will help you if you allow that to happen.
Oh, definitely. And the thing is, there's times that the one thing that is really interesting with everyone that I've spoken to, because you and I got into like some really deep conversations about intuition and the process and how you bring information in. And it's important for people to know that most of the time your intuition is going to guide you away from crap and towards something magical. But that's not always, your life isn't always going to be, you know, roses. There's stuff that's going to happen. And sometimes you actually need your intuition to guide you through what we can call the spiritual crap.
Oh, yeah.
You had an
Absolutely.
accident. People have things go on, and you can use your intuition as a gateway. I like to look at it as a gateway where not only do you get the divine guidance and the psychic guidance and everything else, but your creativity comes through that portal. Your inspiration comes through that portal. Your greater wisdom comes through that portal. That's where it comes through. And so your intuition can really, it is exciting.
It is, and I've had people ask me, since I had the accident back in October, they go, well, Jean, how come your intuition, your angels, your guides, why didn't they tell you not to go on that walk? Watch that step, all of that kind of stuff so that you wouldn't have had this happen to you. And, my first answer was, well, I don't really know. But, it's been 4 months now, and so much has come through to me since that time that I totally understand. Now I want to work with spirit to pick easier ways to get the stuff in and, than hurting myself and losing vision in my eye. Right. But, I wouldn't have known some of the things that I know today if I hadn't actually been laid out so that I had to listen, because I was kind of going through a place where I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't looking at what was right in front of me, literal metaphor. And new information is coming in now every day. It will be my next book. It's going to be called The Sentient Body.
Ooh, I love it.
The title of it. So I'm channeling my body and letting her talk about how powerful she is.
And I think it's really interesting for people to know, not like obviously you and I and everybody else, we don't want bad things to happen, but they do. And that's just how it is. They do. And I've had stuff that has gone on and it's like, well, there's been things that's been really nice. I've avoided some really scary things because my intuition said no. And then I have overridden my intuition and said, no, it's something else. It's not really my guidance. And like, oh crap, that wasn't the smartest thing to do. And I look at it like there's 10% of our life that is unchangeable. 90% we can change. 10% you can't. And some of the things like accidents are unchangeable. You signed up for it. Yep. Luckily, we don't actually know beforehand that we signed up for some of those things, because then it would be worse. You'd be walking down the steps every day wondering if that's the day you're going to fall, if that's the day the car's going to hit you, if that's the day your husband's going to leave you and take all the money, like any one of those things, right?
Yeah, I think one of the most important lessons, too, that I really want to share with everybody today, because this has just recently come into me, is that there's a spiritual lesson in everything that happens. It's always an opportunity. There's always a blessing there. But we have to activate that lesson. We have to activate the vibration of it. So if we go through a lifetime where something really heinous happens to us, and we leave that lifetime and we don't get that lesson, then guess what? You get to come back and do it again and again and again until you finally get it. And, one of the pieces that I got, things that I found through a speak session, to clear. And one of the things that I found was that many lifetimes ago, hundreds of years ago, someone threw a spear and impaled my eye. And, I left that lifetime angry, judgmental, and you really incurred a lot of karma because of the way I reacted to what happened in my life. Instead of reacting in love and forgiveness, I did the opposite. And so I set up karma and set up something where I didn't activate that lesson, and I kept having to do it over and over again. Who knows how many times since then I've lost an eye because of, some accident or something happened. And so what I did was I asked Spirit to activate the vibration of that spiritual lesson so I don't have to do it again. And, I would invite everyone who's watching today that when something happens, or even if something has happened to you weeks or months ago, and you're still carrying a judgment or a grudge about it, stop it, forgive it. You can use Ho'oponopono if you want to, whatever your method of choice is. And then ask Spirit to activate the vibration of that spiritual lesson within you so you don't have to deal with it ever again. But let's get back to your summit, Lumari.
I love it.
Well, who are some of the people who are going to be speaking besides me? Of course, we know that I am.
Yes, we do. Well, and the summit starts today, which is fabulous. So the first guest, her name is Amanda Eloesh, and she uses intuition to connect with success. So, because as we spoke before, intuition is about it. For me, it's a gateway to spiritual connection, to inspiration, to creativity, to the connection of the beings in the other worlds that we still travel in, but we have a body as well. So her way of working is using intuition, and she uses it to help people with success. Maureen St. Germain considers herself a practical mystic. So she uses the elements and the sacred energies there to bring in, to help you become more connected with your higher self and receive wisdom that way. Derek Rydell is really well known for his work on the law of emergence. And he is all about transformation and using your intuition as a gateway to transform past healings, to transform, what your life looks like, what your goals are, what you're stuck in. And he calls it emergence because we're moving into the new world that we've all signed up for, even if we didn't know we signed up for it until recently. There is a woman, Simone Wright. She talks about intuitive intelligence. So she looks at the intuition in a slightly different way, using it still as a tool, but allowing, and she looks at intuition as it has 4 different elements that you can participate with. Everybody is so amazing. Peter Shank is brilliant. He is a modern day mystic, and he actually uses transformation in software. So he uses intuition to help you program things through software.
Wow.
It's amazing. I'm so excited with these people. I really am.
If somebody has not heard about it already, how would they sign up so that they don't miss anything?
Well, you can sign up, and you can sign up today. I know that you may have already emailed people, but the direct way to go is intuitionsummit.com.
That's easy.
So, easy.
Yeah.
Perfect. And the first one's running today, and there's one every single day for 21 days. And what's really wonderful about it is that it is a different way where each person, like you speak about inner speak, and it's a whole other way of looking at your intuition and having that dialogue and learning to grow and be more of yourself. And then other people are looking at it. Yes, I use that, but I use that to help me be on stage. Mm-hmm. I use that to coach people to perform. I use that to create new businesses. It's so rich. It breaks apart our like narrow focus that some people have about what intuition actually is.
Absolutely. And it takes 21 days to break a habit or to change a habit. That's scientifically proven. So what more beautiful way than to take the next 21 days to really and truly unlock the power that really is within you all the time.
Yes. And I think that because there's so many different ways that people can look, every single day, what's wonderful, because I've created this in a way that I feel more comfortable with, every single person, including you, leads a meditation. So not only is everybody hearing conversations and getting tips about how you do things, but there's actually a meditation that every single person is going to guide you through so that you actually gain a connection intuitively, whether it's to create your business or heal the past or be more intuitive or get more abundance or whatever it is through that cycle. Every single person is sharing a meditation, which is gorgeous.
This is so fantastic. I'm really so honored that you've included me with this really great group of folks. So thank you so much for doing that. And Thank you so much for coming on the show today to talk about this. So tell us one more time the URL so that people can sign up today.
Definitely. So it is intuitionsummit.com. I'll spell it INTUITION summit SUMMIT.com.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you. And so viewers, you can catch me live on March 3rd when I will be the guest on the summit all day long. And next week, my guest is going to be Houston's best psychic, Kim O'Neill. She's actually going to do readings on the air. And we're going to be talking about how to tune in with your angels. So join us next week for Kim O'Neill. And until then, remember, people who take responsibility for their lives create the reality they desire. I love you all. Ciao.